Thank you, Farhan. Um, Jerry, I wanted to call to one thing you had mentioned beforehand about the process of rolling up ideas and the meritocracy of ideas. Our third topic is about velocity. I think one criticism that may come up of that process may be around velocity. So I was wondering if you could make opening remarks on our topics about velocity as it relates to hierarchical organizations.
Sure. I'll sort of make one comment in terms of startups, and the reason that startups have higher velocity is that they typically have, almost by definition, most startups start small. That's why they're called startups. And so it's easier to have faster velocity when there's fewer people and opinions in the room. In some cases, there's even uh, prevailing thoughts around if you want to make a project go faster, reduce the number of people on the project as opposed to increase the number of people on the project. So I do think that there's fundamental benefits to having a smaller group, and the smaller the number of people that you have involved, the more I actually do believe that you can have a flat style versus a hierarchical style. At the same time, I think that if you have a major initiative that you want to pursue, in some instances, having a hierarchical organization allows for, although maybe it's bad to put it in the terms of command and control, it's easier to have directives in a hierarchical organization because you can funnel them down more efficiently. And then if you have every layer of the organization sign off on those directives, or everybody believes that this is the right path for the company and this is the right direction, and as Jeff Bezos puts it, if even if people that disagree, they disagree and commit, you end up having fairly efficient execution within a larger organization. And so you can steer a fairly large ship well if all the different layers within that organization align on a particular goal. However, from an innovation perspective, it becomes trickier because by definition, the larger the organization, the more ideas get generated. In many cases, it's easier to lose specific ideas somewhere in the process. But from a velocity perspective, if you're trying to execute on a large project, then having a hierarchy in some cases is a lot easier to get that execution done. Then if you have 200 people that you have to convince to go in a particular direction, and every single person has their own opinion, because by definition, there is no leader involved. Imagine how many sidebar conversations you have to have, because by definition, in a meritocracy, the merit of any one given individual's idea has to be better than all the rest. And so you have a lot of convincing to do and a lot of people to persuade, versus in a hierarchical organization where if you pick a direction and you can convince only the managers in that organization that this is the right path and they sign off on it, then you can kind of get that execution going a lot faster.